How does ecology give shape to a visual storytelling in the cinema? Or, on the other hand, how does cinema and audiovisual media help shape an ecological ideal? This lesson focuses on the perceptions of the climatic emergency through narrative, medium, and style. I will point out the ecologic ideal as regards the relationship between the individual, his space, and time. I will touch on the role of technology and scientific progress. Are they represented as enemies to a sustainable future or instead as supports? In the past 40 years, a few intersections have emerged between politics of sustainability and cinematic representation. This phenomenon has expanded especially in the new millennium through, firstly, international networks and associations dedicated to sustainability. Secondly, environmental film festivals spreading across the globe. Thirdly, film personalities, we may think of Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, who use their own visibility to promote ecologic content. I will focus on fiction film and on the genres of science fiction and fantasy. A few subgenres of science fiction have appeared since the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and are growing significantly since the late 20th century. We are talking about apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic science fiction. The first genre is centered on facing global catastrophes. The second one focuses on the fights among a catastrophe's survivors. The heritage of nuclear disasters in Japan has been iconically transfigured in the fantastic figure of Godzilla, for example. This is an imagination born in the 1950s, a creature rising from the abyss due to nuclear radiations. This monster has colonized the global imagination until today. The post-apocalyptic genre includes climate fiction, a dystopia of the future where human beings face the catastrophic effects of climate change, such as the new ice age in the day after tomorrow, or the Earth turned into a dump in Wall-E, or the frozen land in Snowpiercer and the desert in Mad Max. Friedrich Jameson observed that science fiction enacts and enables a structurally unique method for apprehending the present as history. This genre is increasingly churning out dystopian visions of the future. Hayao Miyazaki's work for animation is an example of how ecology can be put in the framework of a visionary mindset. Science fiction makes something new out of the familiar. In Isaac Asimov's formulation, science fiction fights the natural notion that there's something permanent about things the way they are right now. This is what the fantasy genre is about. In Japanese fantasy, folklore and spirituality mingle. In the so-called high fantasy genre, the protagonist is surrounded by a plurality of other characters. The future of the world depends on his battle. We may think of Lord of the Rings, for example. Most of Miyazaki's work represents a dreamer's mind. Therefore, it foregrounds the ability to envision a different world, a different order, or different behavior. It all starts from an ability of observing things accurately and seeing their spirituality. In the poetics of Miyazaki, a few themes are recurrent, all connected to sustainability. His films show the beauty that goes otherwise unnoticed. They visualize a dreamer's dream. They are anti-militarist and pacifist. They show women as pivotal. They show a child's point of view. Miyazaki's work fosters the ecological ideal through imagination. His films bring to the fore some core themes also addressed in the Agenda 2030, such as good health and well-being, reduced inequalities, and sustainable cities and communities. Miyazaki not only points out the threats to a sustainable world inherent in our society, he also suggests a visionary stance, the capacity to foresee a world where each individual can be respectful of the beauty and plurality of living forms. We may think of the film Nausicaa, for example. He celebrates the power of sensitivity and vision, a force that induces protection and prompts moral action. This power is often held by a child, most likely a girl. In audiovisuals, aesthetics and narrative are vehicles to arouse the spectator's awareness concerning what is worth fighting for and what is in our power to contrast the decline and cultivate a culture of respect, which is the purpose of the Agenda 2030. The implied concept is Anthropocene. Human beings determine the planet's condition and future evolution. Citizens have the global responsibility to manage and administer the world. Therefore, the awareness of human motivation is all important. The style of Studio Ghibli's animation conveys intense colorings, intense sense of place, rootedness, particularity, and beauty. A world that feels full, where detail is all important. A strong atmosphere or mood. Miyazaki's space is full of people due to accurate background animation. For example, he avoids representing people running non-stop and rather shows a person stumble. This style conveys motivation, geared out through how characters move. Drawing is endowed with spirit. Miyazaki draws full human beings, people, not characters. Miyazaki's heroes inspire action. Think about the fact that kids don't operate on logic. They have the power to surpass adults and do what is right. Miyazaki's animation vibrates with strong emotional resonance rather than being gag-oriented. Miyazaki addresses the future. He addresses kids, their observational power and sense of wonder. Totoro is not violated by adults' common sense, for example. Its narration, focused on the struggle to be better, on the energy and freedom of flying, puts cinematic imagination beyond dystopia and fosters, instead, hope and regeneration.